Hi, my name is Brandon Walker. I host Pick Central, the daily gambling show here on BarstoolSports.com. I am in today in the Pick Central studios with my good friend Big Ev to my left and my other good friend Ben Mintz to my right. Marty Mush is not here. He is off doing some content in L.A. with Jersey Jerry. Rico is not here. He does not have a contract that binds him to be here more than 3 hours a week. Smitty is not here because he is a liar who told me he would be here yesterday, and he's not. So these are the three that are here. The three best-looking people on the show, probably the three best gamblers. Well,
yeah. I do like the compliment, though.
It is weird.
You count poker and gambling?
It is weird. We have a weird dynamic with you because this is a sports gambling show, and you're objectively, at least right now, far and away the worst sports gambler here. But in gambling, like in poker, you could just take all of our houses.
Well, I'm having non-objectively one of the worst months that's ever happened at like 29 units down. So
statistically, it's shocking.
Yeah, last month I was okay. I mean, I wasn't bad. I was middle of the pack the last 3 months before. Obviously, I'm not crying or spilt milk. Like, I could have had a really good month if I would actually hit Smith on that parlay. But this month, horrible. There's no denying it. I deserve all the heat I'd get.
I think the way you tell if you're a decent or a bad gambler on this show is, are you AM or BM? Are you above Megan or below Megan? Because she is the baseline of terribleness.
I've been above her every month, but this month, I believe.
You're below her now.
Yeah, no.
That's a shocking thing.
Yeah, it happens, man. It's been a rough month. There's no denying it. Like I said, I'm just here to take it on the chin. No. There's really nothing you could say. Like, anytime you get the shit kicked out of you in gambling, it's like you just have to own it. There's no getting around it. If you just get up there and make all these excuses, everybody's going to laugh and just say you're phony. You get crushed. It is what it is.
So yesterday in Barstool headquarters, you came face to face with Dave Portnoy. Is Dave thinking about going to the World Series of Poker and playing himself? Am I reading this right?
I don't think he's thinking about actually playing the main, because the thing with Dave, and Dave, brilliant, genius and everything, but he's very impulsive, and the World Series main is the biggest marathon there is. I mean, it's like 7-8 days long. A regular poker live tournament has 30 or 40-minute levels. Every level in the main event's 2 hours long. I mean, it is grueling. I feel like Dave would sit there for 4 or 5 hours on day one and just be like, what have I got myself into? But he's supposed to come out there. He's going to be out in L.A., I believe, for the Breeders' Cup, maybe.
Sure.
And so he's obviously a big horse racing guy, and I think he might pop into Vegas at some point. Obviously, Nate's got to wear some kind of crazy mask because of some bet. I'm playing next Friday, day one. So I'm really excited. I got to say, like, I kind of popped off to Dave some a little bit yesterday.
Stop right there. TJ, can we see that?
Small line poker name. The whole poker one. I walk in casino poker rooms around the country and people say, like, what's up, Destroyer?
They do. If I walk in with you, that's what everyone
That's a real thing. I mean,
yeah,
I'm the return to the Destroyer. I'm 2 for 5 in the main. I'm going to show you something in the World Series main. I'm going to show you something.
Damn.
I'm going to show you something.
Can we go back real quick? And when I say pause, I'd like you to pause. Just replay this. Replay the whole thing.
The whole poker one. I walk in casino poker rooms around the country and people say, like, what's up, Destroyer?
They do. If I walk in with you, that's what everyone
That's a real thing. I mean,
okay. Pause.
The Casey look is just unreal.
And then Smitty just grinning in the back.
I love that. That's a great. But Casey, I asked her about it after, and she was like, "I have no idea what the hell y'all were talking about."
She's like, "What in the fuff? Get off of my row!
Get the Destroyer.
Get away from my seat! I don't know what's going on right now." So the Destroyer. Dave didn't know about the Destroyer nickname?
No. So basically, that started in Tunica, Mississippi, when I started playing poker in like 2004.
As these things often do, start in Tunica, Mississippi.
There you go. But it came from there was a guy in this little low-stakes limit game who talked with a really funny lisp, and he'd play really crappy hands. And whenever he'd have like 7-deuce offsuit for a full house, he'd be like, I have what I call a Destroyer. And he'd like throw over some crappy hand and win a big pot. And I was like, I don't know. I just decided that was my online poker name.
You stole your nickname.
Yeah, well. And but Destroyer, I was never, look, I'm transparent about it. I was very good at poker. I was not great, but I did get the top 200 in the world in online poker in 2011. That was my peak.
And that's pretty good. I doubt I'm top 200 in the world in anything. Big Ev, are you top 200 in the world in anything?
No chance.
No
Nothing.
chance whatsoever. I don't know. Maybe top 200 luckiest dipshits for me. I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
I'm in the top 100 of that
Yeah.
for sure.
So anyway, Big Ev, one more thing with you, and then we'll start talking about sports. We'll talk about this game tonight. Great
slate of games this
Thursday
weekend,
night
too.
game. Yeah, considering what we had last week with NFL and college football, this is a much better football weekend overall, especially NFL. I think there's several good games. But Big Ev, I saw All Elite Wrestling retweeted the showdown again.
Really?
They did.
I'm about to get him back in here and run it back with you.
I said we could run it back whenever. We could do it there. We could do it on TNT. I'm trying to pitch myself up there.
Trying to get on TNT.
Yeah, I want to be
Careful,
on the
big
AEW.
fella. That's my spot.
I want to be on AEW for real.
All right.
AEW's. I will say, I
They're
have
hot. They're
I have a
hot.
lot of friends that are big wrestling fans that they were freaking out about him being in here. They were just the response. They're
He's
saying
coming
he's
back.
the great. They're saying he's like the greatest natural heel that's come in a long time.
He's the most talented guy on the mic to come along in the last 20 years. It goes like Piper, then Rock, Flair probably, then Punk, and now him.
Wow.
JF.
I mean,
That's high praise.
that's first ballot Hall of Fame
that's high
list.
praise.
you just said.
Oh, he's going to be a huge star, mainstream, for a very long
He's
time.
very talented in the ring too.
MJF, he's good. Yeah, he's really good. He's
Okay.
really good. I don't think he is. I don't think he's shown it yet. I don't think he's been able to have the spotlight on that part of his persona yet. But he will put it on that very soon, and he'll be excellent. He's great. He's phenomenal, and this is like not ground floor of him because he's already popular, but he's going to be gigantic star throughout entertainment, not just wrestling. Okay, so tonight we have. And I'm a little under the weather, so forgive me.
I feel like it's kind of been going around this week.
Yeah, did you say you had a sore throat coming back from
I
Mississippi?
did.
So you got us all sick?
No, I don't think so. I went and made sure I took a COVID test that was negative before I came back in the office, and I feel fine now.
All right, so Packers Cards tonight. We usually do picks at the end, but I'm just going to go ahead and say let's see where we're leaning here because I'm probably heavier on this game and heavier on the Packers than I've been on a team all year. And I want to see if you guys think that's stupid, if you guys agree with it. I don't want us all to be on the Packers. Big Ev, where are you leaning here?
I feel like that's about to be with the case because I'm already locked in. I'm on the Packers.
Yeah.
I'm on them too.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
So I look. The public is on the Cardinals.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just. If you're gonna give me, I don't really care about the receivers. Obviously, listen. You'd love to have Devontae Adams. It's actually, I said yesterday. I think a guy besides a quarterback being worth 3 points might be the highest anybody can be worth in the league in terms of like their value against the spread.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
3 points is crazy. That's a lot in the NFL. 3 full points. But I mean, if you're gonna give me Aaron Rodgers 6.5, I mean, the Cardinals. Listen, they've been great. They've obviously been great, but the Packers are a different animal. The offense is a different animal. They're gonna go in there with MVS. Basically, he hasn't even had a practice. He's probably gonna play tonight.
Right.
Lazard's out too. He's gonna be throwing to Tanya, and they're gonna run the ball with Jones. Throw it to him out of the backfield. 6.5 is just too much with Aaron Rodgers. Too much.
Okay, so I looked. Last year, Devontae Adams played 14 games. He missed 2 games at the end of September. Okay? What happened in those 2 games? Packers went 2-0. They scored 33.5 points a game. They scored 37 and 30. Aaron Rodgers had, I believe, 680 total yards passing, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. They were objectively better. They were just as good, if not a little better, without Adams last year. Now, you'd obviously like to have him, but it is not a death sentence. And to if his absence causes me to be able to get 6.5 with this Packers with Aaron Rodgers, I will take it all day, every day, and I'm taking the money line.
Also, I just think when you think about the fact that this Cardinals spread that it opened at 3.5, I just think the fact that it opened at 3.5, if you're about to lay 6.5, I just think that's not a good gambling just move, period.
No.
I just think that's not like sharp. The word sharp, obviously, we throw it around a lot, but I'm dead serious. I just think that's not like a profitable move long term. To be a line move that much and you kind of getting the butt end of the line like that, especially as a big favorite against a good football team, a team that's definitely going to be a playoff team, probably going to win their division.
I'm going to give the chat boys a chance. I haven't opened the computer all week, but I'm opening it up to see what they think about this game.
This Green Bay, my thoughts on it. LaFleur's a good coach. Obviously, you got Rodgers. I think Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, you lean on the run. You get Aaron Jones involved more in the passing game. And I agree with you. 6.5 is too much. And plus, the public slamming Arizona. Also, let's not forget, J.J. Watt's season-ending injury ain't good for Arizona. I mean,
It's not great, but I
mean, leadership more than maybe.
yeah, I don't know how much it affects there on the field. Like he's
doesn't help the
fine,
run
I
D.
guess. Yeah, he's fine, I guess. I just I don't know. Somebody says that without Adams, the Packers are 6-0.
You know what it is too? Rodgers is a big time fuck you guy in general.
Yeah,
And I think it just puts the chip on his shoulder. Like as much as he loves Adams as a guy and as a player, I just think it puts the big fuck you chip on his shoulder. Like I want to prove to you again and again and again how good I am and that I can win with literally anybody.
that lasted a while.
Yeah. Well, you know.
What were they? What was the?
Just being dipshits. All right, so maybe we'll take a couple calls. TJ, what do you think? Calls today? See, since we got NFL, college football, we'll take some calls. You good with that?
All right, yeah.
I want to run through the board some too, for sure.
No, we'll run through the board.
I like the college games tonight. Actually,
Why don't you calm the fuck down and we'll run through the board in a minute.
Okay.
Read us an ad, though.
Let's do that. Crowd Health. More than half of Americans are on a high-deductible health insurance plan, on the hook for thousands of dollars of copays, deductibles, and sky-high premiums. For many people in the U.S. concerned about the rising cost of health insurance, there are no good options. You either go uninsured or you pay through the nose for a high-deductible plan with questionable coverage, all because of a broken health insurance system. It's like being stuck with an outdated cable TV plan and not knowing about Netflix. Crowd Health is not health insurance. It's just a better way to pay medical expenses. Crowd Health is a community of people who are tired of paying for a broken system, a place where you can get a simple, flexible, and affordable way to pay for your health care. Crowd Health is able to offer amazing prices because of its community of health-conscious members. But for a limited time, our listeners get their first month free, and after you've been a member of Crowd Health, we will include a fitness wearable. That's 30 days to try risk-free Crowd Health plus the fitness wearable. To join, just go to joincrowdhealth.com/fit and enter code PICS at sign-up. That's joincrowdhealth.com/fit, promo code PICS. Crowd Health is not health insurance. It's community-powered alternative. Terms and conditions may apply. Sounds like a good product, to be honest. How health insurance is expensive as hell.
Oh, good ad bonus there, Ben. No, way to earn that little bonus. How about let's do this? 646-291-2437. At 12:30, we'll go to the phone lines. We'll get some calls in, and we'll let you give us some lines that you like, give us some picks that you like. Tonight, let's just dive into college football real quick. I just wrote down what I think the most interesting college football lines are of the weekend. We can start with tonight because you've got East Carolina and South Florida, and then you have, help me out,
Troy Coastal.
Coastal
yes.
bounce back huge here tonight off that App State game.
Troy, not a very good team. That under is also crashing because I think we're going to have weather tonight over there in Myrtle Beach. So I don't know if I'm not taking that officially, but I know it's screaming towards it's going down. The total is crashing down right now because of weather. I love East Carolina -10. I don't know if you saw that they're going the Halloween theme tonight. They're blacking out the stadium.
Ooh.
It was a very impressive
South Florida's
video.
bad, too.
South Florida's very bad. I like East Carolina by 10 tonight. Not great Thursday night games, but something to watch.
I wish I knew about the blackout.
Not great Thursday night games in college football, but we have a great Thursday night NFL game, and we got Bulls Knicks tonight. A good NBA slate.
I mean, winner's probably winning the NBA Finals. I
Clearly.
calculated some things this morning, and it came out that that's probably the case. So,
Oh, my goodness.
biggest game in the history of the NBA in October.
Whoa. Look what we got. Yeah, Brandon just saw BW Carlin.
BW Carlin's in the house.
BW Carlin in the house.
Brandon's never been that excited for literally anybody.
I would say you have an effect on Brandon. I mean, literally, his face lit up like it was Christmas morning when he saw you.
I miss you all, but I miss that guy. Miss him terribly. I got to drop a Halloween costume off Jordan, all right?
I like good. It's Port Halloween. I respect that.
That guy sucks. I don't like that guy. Just tweets all the time.
I'm about to say he is.
I don't even follow him.
I've never seen anything like his Twitter. I run my mouth a lot.
I don't know if I unfollowed him or I just muted him, but I don't see him anymore.
I mean, he takes it to a level like it's like every detail of every day.
Yeah, he tweets like you talk.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so most interesting college football lines. I'm just going to name some lines. I'm going to throw some games out here, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. Tell me a world that exists where Georgia doesn't beat the shit out of Florida this week. It's Georgia -14. These two teams last year met in Jacksonville. Florida won the game, and it felt like a changing of the guard. It felt like Dan Mullen's planting his flag and saying, all right, well, Kirby, I beat you. It's my rivalry now. And ever since then, Florida's gone to complete shit. Georgia hasn't lost a game.
Yeah, last year I believe Florida score was either 35 or 38 points in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, they went just nuts. Kyle Trask and Tony and Pitts, they got it going. Don't think Georgia hadn't thought about that every second since. I mean, I think Georgia's the defense has been beyond outstanding all year, but this is the statement. You know, they got to be embarrassed about what happened last year. I mean, I lean Georgia too here.
My question is, how early do they go to Richardson? Because I think it's in a game like this, they're going to struggle to move the ball. I think it's going to be inevitable.
I think he might start. Like,
you think so? I hope so. He's a better quarterback.
Beat writers are asking Mullen, and Mullen is not saying one way or the other. He's not even saying, no, don't ask me that. He's saying, we'll have a quarterback out there Saturday.
Okay,
He's
so
being very coy about it.
All right, so yeah, maybe he does start.
Yeah, I think he might start. I don't know if it's really going to matter. I mean, I think he's probably a better quarterback than the other guy, but I don't know if it matters against this defense. This defense is so super elite that it just doesn't feel like.
The only hope is the mobile legs. I mean, that's literally their only hope is Richardson's legs, I think.
All right, Notre Dame and North Carolina.
Rat line here.
Notre Dame's only a 3.5-point favorite.
Ooh, nice looking.
Oh, yeah.
Clean looking board.
Yeah. Oh,
TJ's
TJ's
the
the best.
TJ, he's
It's a
man.
very nice template.
Huge shout out, man. Great job.
So North Carolina is only a 3.5-point favorite against Notre Dame is only 3.5-point favorite against North Carolina. What do you make of this? Because Notre Dame, I think everybody agrees they're not very good.
No,
but they're also 6-1. Like they're not losing. North Carolina is not good at all. But they still have a great quarterback.
I just don't think Notre Dame's defense is very good.
Yeah,
I mean, especially after.
I think they've been in some favorable spots against some bad offenses.
right.
Like I could easily see North Carolina putting 40 on them in this game.
So this could be
not easily, but I'll say 35 at least.
Could be a shitty matchup for Notre Dame because North Carolina can test you over the top. You know, Kyle Hamilton. It's going to be
that's
him.
huge.
Yeah.
That's going to be huge.
I mean, he might have been pound for pound the best player in the country.
That one, I forget who they were playing. That one interception he made.
Oh, it was against.
He literally came the entire length side, horizontal, whatever.
Was it
field.
Purdue? Or no, or was it? It wasn't.
It might have been Purdue. I'm sure.
It was early in the season.
It was like
Florida State. It was Florida State.
It was one of those where I was like, I literally feel like the only person in the history of NFL that could have made that play or the history of football was like Ed Reed.
Ed Reed.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Like he must have ran 50 yards.
He went from the far hash to the sideline and caught a ball as the ball was in the air.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's special. He's legitimately special.
Yeah, he's a great player, but like on the surface, I won't take Notre Dame because North Carolina's been so disappointing. But 3.5 tells me I almost have to take North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm leaning Carolina here too.
Little money line here.
Yeah, I mean
Notre Dame
Get
wins.
Sam Howell back in the good graces of the NFL scouts.
I think I'm going to take the 3.5 because Notre Dame wins close and ugly so much. I think that's like in play with them a lot.
All right, so Michigan -4 against Michigan State. I'm just on board saying these are two average football teams. I don't think either one's very good. Michigan fans believe in their heart of hearts it's an insult to say Michigan State and them are the same. They feel like they're better. They feel like they're really good. They feel like they're about to win the Big Ten. Michigan State fans seem like they're just along for the ride. They're enjoying the shit out of this. I think Michigan State wins the game because it's at home. Michigan fans are going to be shocked. I think these are maybe the second, third best teams in the Big Ten, maybe not, but I don't think either one's very good. And this is obviously it's in East Lansing. I love Michigan State here as the home underdog. Love it.
I think Michigan State's a better football team.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, you can't separate them at all. You cannot separate them. One of them's played the number 71 schedule. One's played the number 73 schedule. They have very similar outputs as far as points. Michigan has the number 2 scoring defense in the Big Ten. Michigan State, or number 2 scoring defense in the country. Michigan State, number 19 scoring defense in the country. Like, they're not allowing very many points. Michigan's one weakness offensively is also Michigan State's one weakness defensively. Michigan can't pass. Michigan State can't stop the pass. So this is a very interesting matchup.
I want to add one thing too. Michigan State's 9-4 in their last 13 in this rivalry. I think that's a stat that matters. Granted, D'Antonio really owned them from 08 to 15, but that's got to count for something.
Wasn't last year the first year that Michigan had beat Michigan State under Harbaugh?
No, because Tucker beat them last year.
Tucker beat them last year, but Michigan won 3 of 4.
They might not have beat them.
No, they won. Michigan won 3 of 4 from 16 to 19. Did they? I'm looking.
Because I know there was some stat that it was against Ohio State and Michigan State at one point. They were maybe it was 0-5 or maybe it was just a start.
Tucker walked into Michigan and won last year. Of course, that was different. There were no crowds.
They were so bad last year.
Tucker, 41 transfers for Tucker. I mean, he has used this because D'Antonio, the coaching job he's done, and people are talking about it, and his name's coming up for LSU. But I mean, D'Antonio left this thing on fire. They didn't have any talent at all, and he's turned this thing. I mean, I'm very impressed. Kenneth Walker, explosive running back. Thorne pushes the ball down the field. I mean, even when Michigan State was good under D'Antonio, they were good in that, like, win ugly way with, no playmakers.
They were Wisconsin.
Yeah, and now they can push the ball down. You know, they're a little more explosive.
So we've also got, I think, Clemson minus 9.5 against Florida State's very interesting. Florida State's awful. Clemson's been bad. Clemson hasn't covered the spread yet. They're 0-7. Are they going to go 0-12 against the spread? I don't see a world where that happens. I kind of like Clemson here, laying the 9.5, and talk me out of it.
Now, I'm not saying I like Florida State in this game.
Right.
Florida State's a weird team where even though they are really bad, they have a lot of individual talent.
Yeah.
So they can show up on a given night. Like, they have
That's a
legit
great point.
NFL guys on defense. They have, like, that running back Corbin is a stud. They have, in my opinion, two, like, solid quarterbacks. I think Travis and Milton are both solid guys. It's just weird. They just haven't been able to put it all together, but they're guys that can show, like, you saw it against Notre Dame. Like, they can show up, like Jermaine Johnson. They can show up on given days. So that's why this is probably even a Florida State or stay away from me.
The thing I want to add on it is Florida State's been getting the crap kicked out of them by Clemson the last, 7-8 years, going back to Watson. And so even though Clemson's bad and this is not a big game at all, Florida State's players should – I mean, you would think they'd be fired up to have a shot at Clemson after everything that's happened the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, that might
And it's hard to lie 9.5 because Clemson's offense is so bad.
That might be something to look at with every Clemson game coming up. All these teams
LSU's going through that too.
All these teams are tired of getting killed by Clemson, and now they're a wounded animal, and people are just kicking them while they're down. That could be something that's at play. We'll talk about a couple more college football games, and I have some NBA stuff I want to talk about. Ohio State minus 18.5 against Penn State. Penn State gave up 375 yards on the ground to Illinois. Penn State lost to Illinois. Now they have to go to Ohio State, who is off the mat and is humming offensively. But they have been humming offensively against bad teams, bad defenses. So has Ohio State's offense been a little bit of a mirage? Is Penn State being in the top 10 for most of the year a mirage? Where are we standing on this? I know I have a very stark feeling about this. I assume you do too, Big F, so I'll go to Ben Mintz first. Tell me what's up with this game?
Okay, what I think about this game is I think Penn State's offense is in the toilet. We all saw what happened in the Illinois game, but I think Ohio State's defense actually has improved since they did some stuff with the Kerry Combs, kind of yanked his play calling ability a little bit and made changes because they didn't adjust in that Oregon game, and they have since. And so when I look at this game, I think Penn State's defense might can keep them in it kind of a little bit, but I mean, I think like 34-10 Ohio State, 31-10 Ohio State. I don't think Penn State can score.
Yeah.
I think Ohio State's decent improved.
I think Ohio State's going to score 45, 50 points a game from here on out. I think they're about to absolutely ransack the Big Ten. I think they're far and away the best team in the Big Ten, and I think it starts Saturday night. I mean, obviously you probably believe that too.
Well, no, I do, and I was saying I have these weird nightmares from just what Jahar Dotson did to Shaun Wade last year.
Right.
But Denzel Burke has been unbelievable, true freshman corner. I agree with Ben. Obviously, the defense has really turned around. I mean, I just don't see how we can't run the ball all over them. Like, we have just an unreal offensive line. Travion Henderson's a monster. Mayan Williams is great. I just don't see how we don't run the ball over him. I just think overall, we just have so much more speed and offense. Like, it's so hard to contain. We have 3 legit receivers that I think are going to be first-round picks in the future. Maybe even 5, honestly. We have 2 that don't even play. But I just don't see how they're going to be able to contain all the speed we have.
Denzel is such a great defensive back's name.
It is.
Great. Denzel Burke.
Denzel Ward, too.
Great corner
Another
name.
Ohio State one.
There went Kate dragging a dead mouse. She's trying to fool people with a dead mouse.
She was very upset. She did a whole lap earlier, and not one person even batted an eye.
Dead mouse. The fake dead mouse. NBA basketball.
Can we talk about 2 more? Okay, then we're going to circle back.
We'll circle back.
Okay.
Because we're going to have some
Your
calls.
show. I'm on.
We're going to have some calls, too. I wanted to make sure I talk about this NBA. 646-291-2437. If you want to call in and talk whatever you want to talk, give us picks, give us whatever. I'm coming to you at 12:30. So there you go. There's the NBA schedule tonight. Some pretty good matchups. Some really good matchups. You know, Knicks, Bulls, Jazz, Rockets. You got is that Spurs?
Spurs
Mavs.
Mavs.
Spurs, Mavs, Grizzlies, Warriors. Like these are some good matchups. I like it. Knicks, Bulls though is kind of the marquee tonight, at least as far as shit talking on Twitter. Before I get to Knicks, Bulls, I have a question for both of you.
What's that?
Is James Harden finished as a top-level NBA player?
I think it's early to say that.
The new officiating is brutal on him, though.
James Harden
it is really rough on him
as a top-level NBA player. Let me give you some stats, okay? So far this season, he's played 5 games. He's shooting 36% from the field, far and away his lowest ever. Small sample size, yes, but 5 games, I'm telling you what he's doing right now. He's averaging 16.6 points a game, far and away his worst since his earliest years in the NBA. Shooting 33% from 3, far and away his worst in the NBA. He's not getting to the free throw line. He peaked averaging about 10, 11 free throws a game in the middle of his career. Last couple of years, he's been at 9, 8 free throw attempts a game. This year, he's getting 3 free throw attempts per game. He is averaging 4.6 turnovers per game. When the Nets put together this big three, they put together this idea of an elite point guard in Kyrie Irving, an elite facilitator and scorer in James Harden, and the best pure scorer in basketball, maybe in the history of basketball, in Kevin Durant. And that looked incredible. Right now, Kyrie Irving is hanging out in an apartment in Brooklyn, not getting vaccinated. That's his choice, whatever. James Harden is objectively bad, and Kevin Durant is having to pull together the scraps and try to win basketball games. Is James Harden done as an elite NBA player?
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt for one season. This is the way I'm kind of seeing him right now. Kind of like a pitcher who's aging and has lost his fastball. He doesn't throw 98 anymore. He throws 93, 94. And he's got to figure out how to paint the corners, throw some junk pitches, do a little bit of that. I want to give him that time to maybe adjust that he's not getting these calls and try to play a different style. It may never turn for him. I don't know, but that's kind of the way I'm approaching him, just thinking about him, is I want to give him a little bit more time to maybe just adjust his game and maybe take a step back and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to get these jump into the defender, foul, 3 shots at the line. I'm not getting that anymore. I got to work around it a little bit differently. I got to go about the game strategy-wise a little bit differently. I want to give him the chance to do that, and 5 games isn't enough. He may never figure it out, but I want to give him some time to just try to work through that and just approach the game differently.
Now, keep in mind, in the playoffs last year, he was objectively pretty bad too. I just remember when Kevin Durant was coming down and just shooting shots from everywhere and trying to lift that team, James Harden was literally running down the court, bringing the ball up, handing it to Kevin Durant, and getting out of the way. And that's never been James Harden's style.
No.
It's never been the way he played. I feel like trying to blend into a big three or even trying to blend in with Kevin Durant as the alpha has kind of ruined what made James Harden James Harden.
I mean, he was just so good as just always having the ball in his hands. He just was always in the Rockets. He was just always kind of just controlling the game.
And he benefited from officiating.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
He knew
how to work the system.
He knew how to manipulate officiating. And if they've taken that away, it just maybe they've taken away his Austin Powers mojo. Maybe they taken it from
that's why I compared to an aging pitcher, because it's like some guys are able to figure it out. I always think about CeCe. He kind of went through that rough patch where he was really bad,
right? And
then he was able to figure out, and he was good again the last few years. But there's some guys that just lose it, and then they're just bad forever, and they just don't have it. And he might be in that spot. But if he can figure out, because he is a good 3-point shooter, he's a good shooter of the basketball. If he can kind of figure out how to play off ball and just make knockdown jump shots like that, and still be able to facilitate, because he still was really good at getting to the rim and drawing fouls like that, which that should still be in his game. Those calls aren't going to be taken away from him entirely.
All right, so Brian Hunter says this can't be a serious discussion. This is why I don't read you dumbass chat boys anymore. This is a logical discussion.
Yeah, I think
the rules have changed. That's a big thing, yanking away the jump into
foul. If you're using your lunch hour to say this can't be a serious discussion, just suck my dick. This is a reasonable discussion. This is fine. If this is your idea of something that isn't a serious discussion, you got issues, man. Let's go to the calls, though. Oh, wait, before we go to the calls, Knicks, Bulls. Knicks, Bulls tonight. Knicks have been down bad for a decade, well, until last year. Bulls have been down bad. Now they're not down bad. The Bulls have created a new roster with so many moves, trades, free agents, and the Knicks have slowly built into something that is not only aesthetically pleasing. They got Kemba Walker now who can shoot. They're an exciting team with a lot of exciting pieces, and the Bulls are an exciting team with exciting pieces. Tonight they meet for the first time as good teams for the first time since I'd say the Derrick Rose, Carmelo years.
Yeah, but even those times the Bulls were more real than the Knicks were at that time.
Yeah, but still,
and they also kind of missed a little bit where when the Knicks were good, when they actually were good, the year they were the 2 seed when Melo won the scoring title. That was a year or two after D Rose blew his knee out. So they never fully met as both very good.
One thing I want to add on this and talk about the teams being good, this shows that coaching hires matter because Thibodeau and Billy Donovan have done freaking awesome jobs with both these teams. And we live in this world where the NBA, it's like whatever, the coaches don't have power and all that stuff. But both these guys, awesome job.
Hit an ad. We'll go to the call. 646-291-2437. We're coming to you.
All right. 2016, Cuts founder Stephen Brelli felt boxed in by his wardrobe. He hated having to compromise between style and comfort, so he decided to do something about it and started with reinventing the plain, humble tee. The result, a tee that GQ calls the only shirt worth wearing. Stylish enough for the boardroom or the street. Comfortable enough for workouts in the gym or nights out at the club. You might think, do we really need a new take on the T-shirt? Short answer, yes, we did. Cuts also just released their new always-on joggers, designed to never take a day off even when you do. Whether you're commuting to the office or out on a date, Cuts joggers offer comfort that never quits and style that never disappoints for a wardrobe as ambitious as you are. It's not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It's work leisure apparel for the sport of business. Get 15% off your first order at cutsclothing.com/picks. That's cutsclothing.com/picks for 15% off your first order.
Team Spieth says, Fat Ev makes me want to play in traffic.
Huh.
You have that option.
Yeah, you can.
Nobody's stopping
Go
you.
play in traffic. Fat. What was his name? Spieth?
Spieth, yeah.
He's still riding the Spieth train?
I don't know.
That guy stinks at golf.
Yeah.
Got to bounce back this year, though.
I feel like they've been saying that for the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's true. He's won a few this year. He's played a little better.
Mark in Philly. Hi, Mark.
What's up, fellas? Thanks for taking my call. It's been too long since I was able to talk to the Pick Central crew, but I have still been giving winners to my guy B-Walk on the college football show. And I know it's football season, but it's basketball season too. And I've been red hot picking underdogs in the NBA. And tonight, I'm loving the Spurs +7 at Dallas.
Okay.
The Spurs are 1-3, but their 3 losses are to the Lakers, Bucks, and Nuggets, and they hung with all 3 teams. The Mavs let the Rockets and Raptors hang around. I think they do the same here. And with an absolutely massive coaching advantage with Popovich over that moron Jason Kidd, I actually like the Spurs to pull off an upset and win. Luka Mania will not be running wild tonight.
I actually like to play a lot.
Well, you know what? That's where we get in trouble. This is where we're going to get in trouble with these calls because we listen to each other talk. We're all idiots, right? And we know how to take whatever we say with a grain of salt. Mark calls, says that. I immediately think that's the best play
I've been on the Spurs for a couple wins this year already against the spread, so they're in my good graces right now.
Thank you very much, Mark.
The Spurs are in my – I have roses for the Spurs.
I mean, let's be honest. Mark is also a very good gambler.
He is.
Yeah. Mark. When Mark calls, I listen, and I love that play right there.
Because I know me and Mark were both on the Kings last night. They were +8. They won outright.
Let's go with James in Illinois. Wants to talk about the UFC. Hello, James.
Oh, love it.
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Go ahead.
All right, I got a UFC pick for Big Ed here. So the future double champ is fighting this weekend. Khamzat Chimaev by KO or TKO is +145. This dude absolutely rolls through people. 9-0 with 9 finishes. I don't know how this is plus money, but I think he's absolutely going to destroy his guy this weekend. I still just can't believe it's plus money. I think he destroys him.
I do too. I think the Leech got a lot of buzz after after he knocked out Ponzinibbio. I mean, he's a good fighter, no doubt about it. But Chimaev, this is the way I would describe to people who aren't like big UFC fans. I really believe he's like a 170-pound Khabib. Like he's just a mauler. And I would imagine the sub is probably like his submission might be minus money, but he's a dude who just wants to put you on your back and just eat you alive. That's all he was saying. I want to eat him. I want to eat him. He hasn't fought in 13 months. He had COVID after he fought 3 times in like 1 month.
I love that your way to describe him to a non-UFC fan is compare him to another UFC fighter.
But everyone knows Khabib, though. I feel like everyone knows Khabib.
I know the name for sure.
He just wants to put you on your back and just absolutely just take your soul from you.
That's what my wife does every night. Let's go with Vinny in New York. Hello, Vinny.
How we doing, guys?
What's up?
Not much. I just want to talk to Big F first real quick.
He's right here.
This might be the biggest, October basketball game of all time.
Of all time. No doubt about it.
It's unbelievable. I'm genuinely so excited for this game.
Are you a Knicks or Bulls fan?
He's from New York.
I'm a Knicks fan.
Oh, let's go. I said it earlier. I mean, the winner of this game is probably going to win the East. Probably the finals. Still.
As long as the Knicks win, I will say that is true. If the Knicks happen to lose this game, it's still early in the season.
Well, no, if the Knicks lose, I'll have to go back in the lab and recalculate some things.
Yeah, no, Knicks lose this game, it's whatever. It's early.
Do you have a pick, or do y'all just want to hold each other's dicks?
I'll hold this dick all day long.
Yeah, Knicks plus 1.5 then.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, here's why I hate you New York motherfuckers. As soon as you get a breath of air in your lungs, you're the cockiest piece of shit in the world. Like, the Knicks are good again. Fine. Yay. Great. Whoever wins this is going to win the finals, going to win the East. The Bucks exist.
I'm aware.
They still exist. And this caller, the most important October basketball game of all time, how about no?
I tweeted that earlier, actually.
Did you?
How
about no again?
I tweeted it at Dan, at Big Cat.
John.
We're playing for winners first place in the Eastern Conference.
John in Minnesota wants to talk about the NFL. Go, John.
Hey, how's it going, boys?
What's up, man?
So I want to talk about the Vikings-Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Mainly, I want to hear what your thoughts are on the Vikings as a whole right now.
Right.
But the public's heavy on the Cowboys. Rios Bank Stadium's going to be rocking on Sunday night. Dak's coming off an injury, or he's a little banged up right now.
Right.
The Vikings are one of the best sacking teams in the NFL. But what are your thoughts? Other than that, Wolves are alive. Trust me.
All right. Thank you very much for the call. This is a game I circled on the NFL where I don't want to bet against Dak, but it seems like an incredible Vikings spot.
It's the rat line of the weekend.
There's 2 points. They're at home on a Sunday night. The Vikings they can look like a good team. They can look like a terrible team.
That's the Kirk Cousins
The
thing.
Cowboys are also in a spot where they look pretty good, but they're still in prove-it mode. They still got to go out and get it. They can't just rest on their laurels. So while I think the Cowboys are a better football team, I think the Vikings probably win this football game.
That's what the line says. That's
Right.
what the line is trying to tell you. But also, betting Kirk Cousins in primetime has definitely not been
the one thing that
not been a winning proposition. But so it's one that you bite the towel and you just lock in that Vikings play.
Over-under's really hot, 54.5, but those games in Minnesota do tend to be higher scoring on that fast track. Those horns will be blowing. They'll have a great home field advantage.
So, Big F, on the Brandon Walker College Football Show that's on Sling TV every night at 6, I have a caller. And he is my best caller. He's my prized possession. And his name is Dylan from Ohio. And this guy is a huge Michigan fan. I don't know how big of a homer take he's about to give us, but I'm going to give him the chance. Dylan from Ohio, welcome to Pick Central.
Thank you for having me. I want to make it clear, this isn't a homer pick. This is just a pick of the numbers. You look at the stats and you can understand what's going on in this game. Michigan -4. And if you listen to the Brandon Walker College Football Show, I give you reasons all the time. I have a new reason. The total's too high. 51 points for this game? The books are accounting for something that we do not know. Michigan State will not score more than 17 points against this Michigan team. And, Brandon, I think you can agree with that.
I do like the under. I like it for different reasons than you. I just don't think either offense is very good. Michigan has a really shitty quarterback. So that's why I like the under. You like it because you think Michigan State can't score against your mighty defense. You also think you're going to beat Ohio State in a couple weeks.
I think that's a possibility. I think that will happen. They are going to have trouble coming into the Big House on Senior Day and putting it to us. They haven't played any defense. So we can talk about them putting up 54 against Akron, but, they played a decent defense in Oregon without their best defensive player, and, yikes, Big Ed. We saw how that happened, didn't we?
Are we going to do this? Is this what we're going to do?
Oh, we're going to do it.
Hey, Ev, why don't we talk Saturday? I'll be in East Lansing. I'll be at the show.
I'll be there. I'll be there. We can talk for sure.
I'll get all nice and cozy. I'm saying Michigan beats Ohio State by a touchdown, 31-10 this weekend in East Lansing.
Michigan State, you mean?
Michigan. No. You know better, Brandon. Michigan.
No, he said.
You said Michigan will beat Ohio State this week.
Ohio State by 7, but he said that Michigan's going to win 31-10 on Saturday.
I see. I apologize. Yeah. I was half listening to you because I just kind of drone out when you speak. I'll hear from you tonight, though.
I'll be on. We got to negotiate this bet.
Okay. We'll talk tonight. Thank you very much. Just an insane person. An absolutely insane person. It is
I admire Michigan fans that are talking smack to Ohio State fans because, like, how many in a row has it been?
38, I think.
And like,
I think it's nine in a row.
72.
And what the one was close when Ohio State was the underdog again when Michigan was undefeated. The one y'all went to. That's it.
No, that game wasn't close.
Well, you're right. No.
We
It was
won
like
by a million.
54-39.
Okay.
None of them been close.
Stop dancing, Za. Okay, Garrett in Michigan. Hello,
How dare
Garrett.
you tell Za to stop dancing?
What's he dancing for?
What's
Let
up,
him
man?
dance.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing. I'm a more rational Michigan fan than Dylan. I can prove that quickly by saying that Michigan at best is going to go 10-2. We're only going to beat one of Penn State, Michigan State, and Ohio State.
Okay.
And I also think that Ohio State minus 18.5 is the lock of the week. Penn State is terrible. They should have to cancel their program after last week's game. But I do agree with Dylan on the under, but I think it's because Michigan State's going to win the game 24-21. I think that this is Cade McNamara's last stand, and I think it's going to be a bad one. I'm just curious what you guys think about Cade.
Yeah, I think he's a bad quarterback. I mean, J.J. McCarthy is truly the future of the program, right? And he's been
I completely agree.
And he's been put into several games already. So, am I to believe Cade McNamara, who basically is getting pulled like a bad starting pitcher every game, am I going to believe he's going to walk into East Lansing, a toxic environment, and have his best game? I can't see that happening. I don't think Cade McNamara is very good. I think he's a placeholder at best. So, J.J. McCarthy will play meaningful snaps in this game. Whether it is enough to win the game, I don't know. 646-291-2437. Go ahead and hit that last.
All right, let's talk about Paint Your Life. Get a professional hand-painted portrait created from any photo at a truly affordable price. Choose from a team of world-class artists and work with them until every detail is perfected. It's a user-friendly platform that lets you order a custom-made hand-painted portrait in less than 5 minutes. Quick and easy process. Get a hand-painted portrait in about 3 weeks total. Send any picture. It could be yourself, your children, family, a special place, or a cherished pet, or combine all your photos into one painting. It makes the perfect birthday, anniversary, or wedding gift. At paintyourlife.com, there's no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now is a limited time offer. Get 20% off your painting. That's right, 20% off and free shipping. To get this special offer, text the word Central to 64-1000. That's Central to 64-1000. Text Central to 64-1000. Paint your life and celebrate the moments that matter most.
Adam in Mississippi to talk the NFL. Hello, Adam.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up?
So the Saints are a 4-2 team, and I'm getting tired of everybody disrespecting New Orleans. Say what you want about Jameis Winston. You see what Alvin Kamara can do to a defense. He runs all over. The Saints have the Bucks coming up in the Superdome on Halloween. Last year we beat Tom Brady by 21 points or something in the Superdome. After that, it's like Atlanta, Philadelphia. The Saints can be a 8-2 team, 7-2 team in no time. Plus, they go back and re-sign Mark Ingram, so they have a threat running the ball inside. My main concern is people not putting respect on the Saints' defense. Cam Jordan is going to be a Hall of Famer. He's an all-star. Their defense looks great. They got people getting healthy. Taysom Hill's coming back. We got Michael Thomas, Ohio State guy for Big F. Ohio State guys coming back. I mean, the Saints could potentially be a threat to make the NFC. They've beat Green Bay before in the playoffs.
Okay.
So
all right.
Just some thoughts.
Fair thoughts. All reasonable. Most of them reasonable. But we're just putting players in the Hall of Fame now for the sake of this call.
Well, look,
he's a good player. I feel like no one's I think their defense is very good.
The defense is awesome.
I don't think anyone's disrespecting their defense.
This is the best point. Who's disrespecting the Saints?
I think their defense is very good.
I think the Saints are.
I think it's a playoff defense.
No, I think they're a playoff team. I don't know. He said 8-2. Get to that may be a stretch. They got. I don't know what's going on with Mike Thomas. Nobody does. The receiving core is bad, but the defense is unbelievable. They've allowed 200-yard rushers in 4 seasons. I think Sunday. My thing on this Sunday game is I think the over/under at 50 is like 10 points too high. Literally, I think this is like a 2017, 23-20 game. Ev, I got a stat for you. 3 games for Tom Brady against the Saints last year, averaged 216 yards with 4 touchdowns and 5 picks total. Even the playoff game he only had 199 yards. They won because of the turnovers. So I think this is a game that the Saints can fight. I don't think the Saints' offense is near explosive enough, even to score a lot. But I think it's like a 2017, 23.
What's the line?
It's Bucks by 5 or 5.5
in the Superdome.
In the Superdome.
Interesting.
And Halloween Sunday, it's a 3:25 game. The Superdome's gonna rock. Everybody's gonna be in costumes. It's gonna be nuts.
All right, Shane in Maine, what's up? NBA.
NBA and NFL guys, what's up, man? I love the show.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I like the Spurs covering the 9, and you can't go against Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so you like the Packers and the Spurs. Why do you like the Spurs?
DeJounte Murray, dude, he's balling out right now, and the Mavs are kind of a little streaky right now. So, I mean, I'm feeling it tonight. +7, I believe it is.
Yeah, against the Mavs. Yeah, thank you. You're the second call that had it, so I just wanted to know where people come from. Thank you very much, Shane in Maine, in Rain, Plains, Spain, stuff like that. Sean in Maryland for college football. Hello, Sean.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. Got a couple Big Ten picks this weekend that, looking at the board, don't make any sense.
Right.
Iowa is +5.5 at Maryland. Maryland is in the middle of their
Indiana at Maryland, Iowa, Wisconsin.
Indiana. Yeah, Iowa is my other game that I'm thinking of. But Indiana's +5.5 at Maryland. They're in the middle of their annual tailspin, especially after losing Dante Demas in the Iowa game. Their offense just hasn't been the same. I don't understand, especially the over-under set at 50. It's kind of high, I think, for that game in general. I think it's going to be pretty ugly. But the other game that I have, Iowa being 3.5-point dogs at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's offense hasn't been able to do jack all season, and the over-under is set at 37, which to me says, like, nobody should expect there to be much of a spread at all in that game. So
Right.
I'm feeling like you got to hammer Indiana and Iowa this weekend.
Thank you very much for the call. We actually were talking through, me, you, and Big Cat, we're talking through Wisconsin, Iowa earlier. And Iowa, you'd think they have a top 5 defense in the country because they're so defense heavy. Well, they're defense heavy because their offense, like, historically sucks. They're getting 40% of their points off turnover, which is far and away the most in the country. Okay?
Wasn't it something? It was like the highest in like 20 years.
The highest in like 20 years.
Crazy.
It is ridiculous. But Iowa's defense is good. Here's the dirty secret, though. Wisconsin's defense is better.
It is.
So I looked at the stats. Wisconsin has the number 1 rush defense in the Big Ten. Iowa has number 2. Wisconsin has number 2 pass defense in the Big Ten. Iowa has number 7. Iowa, the only way they get them, Iowa has the number 1 scoring defense, whereas Wisconsin's like number 3 scoring defense. But what that doesn't take into effect is scoring defense also reflects, like, against Notre Dame, the 2 pick-sixes, that goes against your scoring defense. It goes against the overall points you've given up. So that's where it kind of looks bad.
False bottom stat.
It's what?
Like a false bottom stat. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Kind of like that.
Yeah,
okay.
Just like it's like a false stat. No, but you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a false stat. It fools you. I think Wisconsin's defense is even better than Iowa. It's going to be an ugly-ass game. I do think what he said might be right. The hook here is gigantic.
Enormous. I mean, 37 and won a 3.5-point total. The thing, honestly, what's still got to be more is the Indiana game. If Tuttle is not playing quarterback, he was injured in the Ohio State game. I cannot. The 2 quarterbacks they tried to use against Ohio State. I don't know if it was a little bit of Ohio State defense being good. I think another big part of it was how bad they were. They couldn't even move the ball once Tuttle went in the game. I cannot back Indiana if either of those quarterbacks are playing.
But my only point, Brandon, is if we could circle back for 2 minutes and talk about both our schools' games because we haven't mentioned either, and they're both.
Well,
big.
we got a Friday show too.
Okay, but I'm just saying but we both have big games, so we haven't even mentioned them. We're talking Indiana, Maryland. Okay,
let's go with Andrew in Tennessee. Andrew wants to talk college football. Go.
All right, guys. Does Georgia cover this weekend? And just looking at Florida's schedule, it's awful week after this. If they lose to Georgia, win out, and then lose the bowl, is Mullen out? Or is there any way he's out this year?
He almost won the SEC last year. Everybody's like talking about this Mullen hot seat. They literally lost 52-46 in the SEC championship.
Ben, but hold on now. Florida's not a place where you can just let the bottom fall out. Now, we just saw Ed Orgeron get fired because he's 2 years removed from a national championship game. He's been bad. Florida didn't win anything last year. They went 8-4. They almost won the SEC, yes, but I mean the bottom has fallen out on his ass. He's about to be 4-4 halfway through this season, or 2/3 through the season. He is going to finish 8-4 because the rest of the schedule sucks. He won't get fired. You're right, but it's not crazy. It's not crazy to think he could be coaching for his job. He won't get fired. He'll end up firing Todd Grantham, defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
he'll save himself, and he'll be coaching for his job next year, which is not something I would have saw coming considering they were on top of the world. They were a national title contender in October last year.
It's really going to come down to how Richardson develops and if he keeps him and all that because that's literally because he looks like a guy Mullen could really do well with, Brandon. I mean, he's in that mold, that dual threat. But I think that's kind of his future.
And I think Georgia covers by –
Why hasn't he committed to Richardson yet? I mean, he's still saying he's playing 2 quarterbacks this weekend.
Well, let me take you back in personal experience to 2013. He had a guy coming off the bench named Dak Prescott who in limited duty scored 25 touchdowns. And he played like 30% of stats. He only came in certain packages, and he was dominant. But he had a guy named Tyler Russell who was a senior. He kept playing him, and went 6-6. Dan Mullen has a fault and is sticking with his guys too long, and he's sticking with Emory Jones too long. He should commit to the future of his program. Thank you very much.
Well said.
I thought you were about to say something.
No, I was just going to say you said that.
Well it was
said.
Beautifully. Yeah, I'm a beautiful talker. And listen, can we take a vote? There's 3 of us, right?
Okay.
If somebody calls in and says their name is the Tampon Vampire, do we take that call or not?
I have to.
Halloween week, I think that's
Must.
It's
I think all 52
Vampire
weeks.
Halloween.
The Tampon Vampire. We're going to talk to somebody called.
I almost X'd him
to.
out, but that's an all-time name.
That's
why I let him slip.
Okay, so the vote. I say no. Big Ev, you say yes.
I say a resounding yes.
I say yes. Vampire Halloween theme. Got to support.
All right, Za and TJ, you have votes.
Let him in.
Yes.
Bing bong.
4-1. All right.
Yes, TJ.
All right, the Tampon Vampire. Hello.
Hello, guys.
Hello. What's up?
So I have 2 college football picks and then 1 stat. And my first one is I think Auburn beats Ole Miss this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then SMU and Houston are currently a pick-em. And I believe Houston will win. And what do you think's better off for Cincinnati? Beating SMU twice or beating an 11-1 SMU and an 11-1 Houston?
I think beating 2 different 11-1 teams is better than beating SMU twice.
I agree.
I think that looks better. I think it because beating SMU twice is 2 quality wins, but it's the same opponent. Whereas beating 2 different teams, 2 quality wins, it looks a lot better. And I think also if you're going to call with the name Tampon Vampire, you're very plain spoken and just kind of.
I was expecting him to be sucking blood.
I thought
from
there
the
was
earth.
going to be some sort of character work here.
Well, it's my Deadpool name.
I don't think any of us know what that means.
Yeah, that means.
Well, that was a movie, Deadpool.
I know that.
Right.
No, there's a radio station in Omaha that has a Deadpool where you just
Is it a keg?
You name people they think are going to die.
Oh,
points if that person dies.
No spaces, or there is spaces. A dead pool.
Wow.
Huh. Well, why is that his Deadpool name? How'd you come up with Tampon Vampire?
There's a bunch of names. There's Casey Anthony's Daycare.
Oh.
God bless.
God damn it, man.
That was the example. That was the other example.
Right, he just gave one. There are a bunch of other names.
I mean, I guess in his defense, that one would stand out.
What was your stat?
And then during ACC play this year, underdogs are currently 21-9 against the spread.
Good stat.
Because no team in that conference is good enough to be favored against one another.
All right, thank you very much.
I think that just might have put Florida State on my card.
That might have been the most normal dude I've ever heard.
I was expecting some sauce from him.
Yeah, I thought you're gonna call him with Tampon Vampire. You got to be saucy a little bit.
I thought he might hiss at us.
That just sounded like Austin in Des Moines.
Yeah, I mean, he just honestly, I don't hate this pick.
Oh no, they weren't. No, yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, so here we go. Picks for tonight. Big Ev, I'll let you go left to right. We'll lead off with you. Marty Mush still leading. If we can get the standings up, I don't know what they are. I actually don't know what anybody did last night. Did you have a good night?
I think I went a little above 500. I think I went like 5-4 or 4-3, something like that.
All right, I have a 6-play card tonight, which is pretty big for me. So there you go. Rico Bosco was 3-0 yesterday. Smitty 5-2. I was 2-2. Marty Mush is 1-4. So maybe I made up some ground yesterday. What's the overall standings? It's got to be tightening up then.
I'm just Marty falling down a little bit.
You creeping a little bit?
Marty's been feeling a little cocky on here lately. Marty has been getting a little cocky on here lately.
All right. Well, TJ will show us those overall standings maybe by Tuesday.
Just creeping.
Okay, now we got a race.
Creeping up.
We got a race. We got a 3-horse race.
We got a race. Okay. All right. So we got a football weekend, and we'll see who wins the $1,000. All right. Here we go. Big F, start us off.
Bing bong. You already know it. The Knicks plus 1.5. It's a dog day for me. I think I have all plus signs, all dogs. I'm taking Troy plus 17. We talked about the weather. Troy almost beat them last year. I just think 17's a lot here. Coastal, I love Coastal, but
you never go against Coastal.
They beat the shit out of really bad teams, and when they play even decent teams, they get in some games. They almost lost to Buffalo. I like Troy here. I also like USF because I think they're underrated right now. I think they're much better than people thought they were going to be. They got absolutely annihilated that first game against NC State. They almost pulled off an upset against BYU. They beat Temple last week, who's a little bit better
All
than
right,
we
let
thought.
other people give their picks, Big F. This is taking forever.
Is it taking that long?
It's taking forever.
Should I no explanation?
No, it's just a long explanation. That's all.
All right, USF plus 10, and I already said the Packers plus 6.5.
All right, I'll go next. It's I actually just timed it poorly, and I started the picks too late. Packers plus 6.5 and Packers money line plus 230. I'm betting on Aaron Rodgers. East Carolina minus 10. Love them at home. Hawks minus 3.5. I love the Hawks to a fault. Pistons plus 10.5. And in the big game tonight, I love the Bulls minus 1.5. I'm just a big Bulls guy. I like both these teams. I think this is an exciting basketball game. And it's very good for the NBA that Chicago and New York are on the come up. That's fantastic. Ben Mintz.
I got the Packers plus 6.5. I'm on the other side on Coastal. I think they bounce back. They kill people at home. They're kind of on the road. They've been a little shaky. I've got Aaron Jones over 59.5 yards because Green Bay's got to run the ball with the receivers out. And I'm on the other side. I got Dallas by 7, but I don't have a lot of confidence in it.
You want to pick up your explanation again? Now we got time at the end.
Well, I could have just done it. It's 12:55. You could have just not interrupted
Oh,
me.
there's the music. Sorry, Big Av. Had to cut you off.
USF's not bad. Mobile quarterback.
They're pretty bad.
Won the last couple. They almost
USF's
beat
pretty
Tulsa.
bad. Tulsa's not good?
They're okay.
All right, fair enough.
They beat Memphis.
Y'all talk to Jack Mack and get us a time for stacking cash.
Okay. You got it.
And y'all figure that out, and I'll just join y'all. Otherwise, the Yak is up next. Thank you.